Hello everyone, it's Azuba here, and welcome to my third cast. We have a couple of announcements today before we actually start up the video. So I've got a broken speech going on, I'm very distracted right now. So we're actually going to, I'm sorry, we are going to pause this game and jump in at the 5-minute mark. Anyway, before we actually start, I just want to get a couple of announcements out of the way. We had a couple of complaints by people about the sound quality because the mic is not so great, and I totally agree, and it's a serious problem. I'm going to try and have it sorted out as soon as possible. I have ordered a mic online. It is unfortunately not going to be here for about 2 weeks because it's shipping from America. That's not really something I can do anything about, I'm afraid. So, yeah, sound quality will improve at that point. In the meantime, you'll just have to deal with this one, I'm afraid. Second, there is a guide that recently appeared on Reddit by Spellzy, and I will try and put the link in the description of this YouTube video for AD carries, which is just wonderful. It's really, really good. It's by Spellzy, who is a high elo support player, knows a lot about the AD carries in general and about the dynamics of an AD carry, well, of a bot lane. And thirdly, the Curse Invitational is going on at the moment. Probably, if you're watching this, you have already watched that and you've realized how awesome it was, but just in case you're not watching it, you should be. Just Google searching for LOL Curse Invitational, or go to the League of Legends subreddit, and you will find that, no problem, and it's great. And there've been some really exciting games so far between, well, the 4 teams that are involved are TSM EVO, or EG, still know them as EG. I don't know why I have my mic on. Teamless, which is an EU team, and Absolute Legends, who are actually now known as Curse EU, I believe, because they have signed up with Curse as well. So that's great, you should watch that. Anyway, people have complained about these sections at the beginning going on a little long and not really being that important, so I'm just going to cut straight into the game right now. We can. Yeah, okay, here we go. We're just going to unpause that. Apparently directed camera is on right now, which is awful. So we'll just turn that off. See a gank going off in mid right away. We'll go to going in, just getting the twisted advance off. Karma chasing down the lane, not actually able to pick up a kill on a Zingy there. Looking at the lane matchups, we see Scara in top lane on Darius against Westrace on Jax. In mid lane, we see a Zingy on Cho'gath versus Edlia on Karma. Both quite unusual mid lane choices. And in bot lane, we see 3 Executioner. It's Executioner, anyway, whatever. And Todd on Urgot and Tarek versus daydreamin again. Wow. And V-Team on Tristana and Blitz. This daydreamin guy is everywhere at the time that I'm recording games generally. We see a lot of aggression actually going down in the bot lane. Urgot putting a hurt onto daydreamin, not actually able to pick up the kill in the end. Nocturne holding mid lane of that. Singy actually living around here. Does get a good field scream off, and the unspeakable horror goes off. The Rupture actually not landing. Karma's able to pick up that kill on Nocturne. Wonderful work there by Edlia. He's actually just kiting along. I think he could be in that situation, but probably going to be okay. That's actually okay. I think he is just trying to chase away a bit there, but we'll get out fine. Edlia, though, just surviving through that gank, doing amazing work staying alive. Camo on low HP really able to be quite effective, as I've seen in the past. We'll leave that chat, perhaps. In the bot lane right now, we see Blitzcrank possibly going in. Actually, it's just going to go out there over and ward. Missed a kill there. Apologies. See, Westrace going to come in and try and pick up the Zingy while Edlia is backing. Yeah, Zingy in a bad situation right now. Sapling giving vision, but not actually doing the leap strike going off though, and stun does land, switches advanced lands, and Westrace picks up that kill. It is now 2-0, which is potentially quite bad for blue team. The Fear Jax is just scary as hell. Tarek getting knocked up, and Rocket Crab's in. He's able to back away a little bit. Just advance going to Urgot. Tristana going to turn around and fight Tarek. Tristana though is going to be able to pick up that kill. Urgot's just going to be forced to back away. That's very clever, isn't it? Can we not do this right now? Sorry. This is beating in bot lane. on Tristana right now. Doing good work just farming away. He's going to back and pick up most likely Doran's and two blitz. So looking at the builds right now, we see Nocturne's built up to his Madrid's Razors. It's just going to be going through that Wriggle straight away. Quite standard on Nocturne, I think. Maokai, on the other hand, going for the harder gold start and rebuilding into that Yellowstone for the double GP10, which is a luxury that tanky junglers like Maokai are afforded, really. Attack throwing down a pink water dragon right now. They do know that red team has no vision. Or can strongly suspect at least. There are actually a few spots that wards could be hidden that wouldn't be visible. See, gankering down at top lane. The knockup coming off. Oh, actually the flash. But the knockup is still going to land. Scar getting a bit aggressive. That's over aggressive. His tactical goes off, as well as the exhaust and the ignite. Scar going to turn around and maybe pick up the kill onto daydreamin, and it does. But it does go down to Westrice in the meantime. Gary's going to pick up the Hex Trigger right now, which is quite a smart play against his team, I think. Certainly, everybody on red team puts out some form of magic damage. How much varies, that was the paranoia going onto counter right now. At the same time, I'm able to put out a lot of damage actually onto Nocturne. Knockup goes off, but I think he's going to go down here for sure. Flash is trying to pick up the kill onto Knockup, but not quite able to just get the shield going off onto the other. He is fine. Wow, this counter really is doing work right now. He's 301. He's picked up 2 GP10 items. He is going to hit that late game very strong. This is going to much faster than I was thinking. Oh, got caught out of that. Yeah, going to get stunned by Jack. Probably going to have to getting better damage onto Maokai, but not enough. Thanks to the sustain from Maokai's passive, wasn't actually able to pick up that kill without too many hassles. Daydreamin actually dropping another pink ward at Dragon was able to kill the other team's pink ward. Nocturne holding mid lane, but not actually killing any minions just yet. Oh, there it is. Okay. Take another quick look at the builds. You see Cho'gath has picked up 2 Bronze Blades and building with a Brutalizer. This is fairly standard these days. Classic Cho'gath build used to be to pick up a Mana Moon really early on, well, a tier really early on, and build it into a Mana Moon quickly. But more recently, Cho'gath players have just opted to get the Brutalizer into the Guardian Angel and a Frozen Heart, and just be really that tanky presence, and then loop his position. He does go into him, it gets gripped, it's supposed to flash away. Rocket Jump from Tristana, putting him in a good position, and it does actually flash over the turret to pick up the kill there. Was able to rocket jump away over the wall as well, but in the meantime we see some aggression top, and Jackson Darius just aggressively trading. Jackson, not with a lot of mana, is going to go down to the Nocturne guillotine there. It looks like no, they're not going to posture for Dragon. They're actually just going to maybe get a bit more aggressive here. Definitely Blitzcrank and Knockout with a lot of crowd control potential. Rocket Grab not quite landing, and Nocturne is going to be able to get away. Turret quite wary right now, he does want to go over. Cho'gath coming down by himself a little bit to the Twisted Advance as well as the knockback. Maokai is able to dodge that Rupture though, and gets away okay. But wow, the fight goes on here. See the knock-up onto Cho'gath again. This time with Tristana helping out a little bit of the damage. Does get grabbed back in. Maokai and Blitzcrank going to be able to pick that up for sure. They do. Tristana still hanging around. We see though Darius and Cho'gath actually came around this side as well. Maokai caught out a little bit. If they can actually get anything on him. No, it looks like he is outrunning them right now. Going to be able to get away no problem. Nocturne in the meantime is going to try and steal the blue. Bit of a questionable decision with his team backing off there. He's gonna stay though. Tristana, Kama, and Maokai all grouped around him. Maokai actually getting the blue in the end, and Nocturne's going to go down. Yeah, a bit of a risky decision there. Or at least his team not expecting him to do that and weren't really able to back him up properly. Actually does going off into Maokai, trying to predict over. Actually does go down anyway. Turret flashing, but going to get caught here for sure. Diving all the way between the two turrets, but the team really able to secure that kill quite comfortably. Kill goes up to Darius. He's going to try and pick up a couple of kills here, but that shield can come actually keeping Maokai alive. Just Darius getting exhausted, not actually able to pick up many kills right now. Puts up a lot of damage onto Blitzcrank, but can't finish the kill. No knocks in getting right. Oh, I lied. He does actually pick up the kill there. Maokai going into the brush, and they do pick up Darius. And that's got to be frustrating. Oh wow, Nocturne paranoiding and also Nocturne. This Bell Shield is good, and the Rupture really strong. Wow, Nocturne's able to pick up a triple kill there. In the meantime, though, Jack's pushing along top lane, taking out one turret, and maybe able to get some damage onto the next one. With none of blue team near enough to really do anything about it. But they are going to pick up the dragon, which will be a nice little mana gold for them. Red team with a 4,000 gold lead right now, though, will stay pretty static if the turret and the dragon both go down. Pretty substantial gold lead at this point in time, basically. But certainly not insurmountable, and blue team has still a pretty good shot at this game. Tarek putting a lot of damage onto Jax, of course not able to do too much. We see that though that pretty much all of the damage from blue team is going to be physical. We have Cho'gath dealing a little bit of magical damage, but unless he can really get well, a little bit of true damage. We start turning around, getting a lot of damage on Scar. The rocket grab goes off, pulling Scar over the wall. Not actually that beneficial, I feel. After hand goes off onto Jax, but he's able to flash and jump out and gets away on pretty low HP there. Yeah, anyway, as I was saying, the physical damage on blue team is very, very heavy. Cho'gath being their only resource in making true damage, and he's not too farmed and not likely to build a terribly large amount of damage anyway. So anybody on red team stacking armor is going to see a lot of benefits from that. And we do see Maokai picking up a Glacial Shroud immediately, although I think that's pretty standard on Maokai even if they don't have the heavy and AD team. So perhaps not that surprising. But I would expect to see the red team build into a little bit more armor in this game. You see the red team turret going down top and the blue team turret going down at bar. So even trade them to the gold. They're actually getting gripped in and rocket jump onto static field to just crowd control for days with the Buster Shot and the Ignite, picking up the kill there. Actually, I tell a lie, there was no Ignite involved there, it was simply seeing the explosive shot debuff. Sky actually has picked up an Aegis now, which is quite interesting. Building that a little bit tankier, which I like, and certainly having that Aegis for his team is always good. Well, actually, some more interesting build decisions here. We see Nocturne picked up a Heart of Gold and a Brutalizer very early on, going to build into that Yomas, which I think used to sort of be the standard build on Nocturne, but more recently has become much less common. People opting instead to build kind of tankier and just rely on the damage that they gain from his abilities. Wow, Blitzcrank flashing and getting the grab off there. So Darius does turn this into an opportunity to pick up the kill onto Tristana and is able to. In the meantime, Maokai chasing Cho'gath through the jungle. Jack's about to fall off, but the Rupture is good. It's just about not really able to keep Maokai in place for long enough for Jax to fall off. They do decide to back away thanks to Cho'gath's back up there. Kinda has now completed a triple GP10 build, and has picked up a needlessly large rod, presumably going to be building into a jet camp very quickly. It makes a lot of sense to me to rush to the 10 gems after the triple GP10. Let's kind of running around behind the turret here, tries to get that rocket grab off, but is not successful. Jax is able to take out the turret in top lane as well. Cho'gath actually in a lot of trouble here right now with Jax, Maokai, and it's going to get really a good amount of damage onto them. But does flash away over the wall and it's going to be safe. See Cho'gath building towards the frozen heart. Pretty standard build on Cho'gath. He's going to help mitigate the damage from Tristana and Jax in particular. The Tarek picking up a triple GP10 actually. A lot of supports on teams that are behind I have seen building that triple GP10. I'm not really a fan of that, but I mean I can see the logic there. They are going to need to buy a lot of boards on a team that's behind, and they're going to need to catch up as best they can. I have had more success though personally just building triple GP10 on support if you're particularly ahead, using that extra gold that you get early on to pick up another GP10 item, rather when you're behind building more towards the heavy stat items. We see the grip going up onto Cho'gath. He does get twisted advanced, but I mean the damage is not there. We've seen Marco and Blitz roam around actually getting us a lot of people, you know, landing the grab, landing the knockout, landing the twisted advance, but neither of them do any damage because they haven't built for damage. We wouldn't expect them to build for damage, but they really do need somebody on the team to be able to follow up and get those kills. Kind of picking up the blue buff here. Meanwhile, in mid lane, we do see blue team actually pushing on a little bit here, setting up to try and get any damage onto that turret. Makes a lot of sense. I'd be interested to know what the vision situation is like. So, blue team cutting a little, you know, a couple of wards up on the top side of the map. They do have the Baron Pit warded smartly. They do have a ward on their blue as well, which will serve them well. Red team though with a lot more vision map wide in terms of just having the lanes push out more on top and bottom being very helpful, as well as a lot of woods around. You see blue team taking out the mid turret, just pushing on with 4 people. Direct moving a little forward, gets gripped, just flash and apprehend. A lot of damage going out from blue team right now, and they are able to take down Knockout very quickly. With the position reversal onto Jackson, they're able to pick him up as well. Karma potentially in a bad position right now. Just take a lot of damage, gets girl screened, and picked up by Cho'gath. The grab going up onto Cho'gath. Landing grabs for days right now, but we're actually not landing though. Cho'gath is tanky enough to survive. Oh my god, I'm throwing soul on this vision. That does explain it. And a lot of kills being traded there. Actually, two people on blue team going down to Tristana. Tristana does go down in the end as well. So overall was a 4 for 2 for blue team, which is obviously quite good for them. A lot of damage going onto Blitzcrank. Oh my god, the Acid Hut is able to pick up the kill there. A good feast by Cho'gath, I think. Getting a lot of damage onto Blitzcrank, able to take out that Oracle. Which is really useful. Maokai chasing on here, does get vision and stuff with recall on his sap thing. He's able to twist advance onto Cho'gath. Nocturne and Cho'gath are going to turn around and try and help him out. The Jax is coming in here. Can they deal with it in time? So the twist advance on Cho'gath. Jax actually able to pick up that kill. Jack's now going to try and be chasing on to see if he can get Cho'gath as well. Nocturne did get away, but red team is going to take this dragon as well. Really making that fight less favorable overall for blue team. With that said, they were able to pick up 5 kills and an Oracle's. Yeah, well, 5 kills and an Oracle's for 4 kills and a dragon is kind of... They did actually end up being fairly even overall, which is interesting. Tarek getting a new Oracle. Does run straight into Blitzcrank, but I mean, it's probably not too hard to get a Blitzcrank. He's going to try and take out this ward. Blitzcrank doesn't care. He's going to leave. It's good. But yeah, anyway, as we saw, I think red team with a bit more vision right now, partly just because of the creep waves. Actually, blue team with a lot of good new wards coming up all over the place, and with that oracles from Tarek, it's going to be particularly useful. Red team pushing down the turret in mid lane, securing themselves a little more goals now with a 5k advantage. At this point in the game, I mean it's pretty similar to the advantage that they've had all game in terms of scale. It is about 1.5 items or so of major items, and that could potentially be quite a big deal. I actually don't see a lot of armor picked up for the red team, which surprises me a little bit. It's the Frozen Heart of Maokai, which is really good for them, but other than that, not really any. We see GP10 picked up for a lot of members of red team. I imagine that's kind of goes a lot of the goals for that. Blitzcrank with, wow, still choosing on here actually. Blitzcrank going to land the knockout. Maybe. No, he's going to back away. The rupture going off, and Maokai is taking, wow, going in way too deep. A lot of damage. But at the same time, Tarek is getting almost exploded by Jax. He's supposed to flash away. Jack's going to turn and take out Cho'gath. In the meantime, Darius picking up that kill on Maokai in the end, but Wow, Cho'gath getting gripped over that wall. Does get taken out by Jax in this. Jax really proving his strength in this late game team, but the upper hand goes off onto Blitz. But Jax is going to jump onto Tarek. Darius going to go down, and Tarek possibly in trouble here as well. No, he's going to get out. He does. Keeping that Oracle's alive for a little longer. But yeah, Jax really showing his strength. Oh my god, Jax not going to go in. Not going to be able to go in. Did I think going in? A little bit premature. Wow, actually got to get him. Tarek. Tarek is seemingly trying to bait him here. Blitz almost going down to that turret. Jax able to jump and pick up that kill on Tarek, and the gear's going to go onto Jax. He does pull away. Doesn't crowd control under the turret, which is pretty good. Red team able to push another turret out of that. Jax now 9 and 2. He's got his Gunblade, he's got his Phage. He's got 1500 gold. Probably going to be picking up a Zeal with that, building towards his Trinity Force, I would imagine. We see Nocturne picked up a Phage now as well, so getting that Nomad Metal and his nerve trade, so did quite a fair bit of magic just thanks to that, as well as a little bit of armor from his Wriggles. So look at his stats, that probably help. Got 120 armor and 90, well actually 110 armor, 111 armor, and 95 mana boost with no Aegis. So a little bit more, he's no Darius. This Karma's build actually quite interesting here. I did go for that death cap after the GP10. So another blasting one and the DFG pick up to really enhance her burst. And she is sitting on 369 AP right now, doing a whole lot of damage. Taking a little bit of help from Scara, but not really too much effect. And this slow is huge. The rocket grab going up onto Scara, followed by the twisted advance. He's in a really bad position right now. He's going to try and secure that kill onto Karma. And he is able to, but Jack's jumping in. Tristana actually picking up the kill. Maokai just going in deep. Blitzcrank landing the rocket grab. Okay, possibly in quite a bad position right now. I got flashing over the wall, and Maokai doing the same. They're actually able to pick up the kills on each other. Jack's just going to keep chasing along. The Counter-Strike not quite doing what he hopes, I think. Cho'gath doing a fair bit of damage to Tristana, but not going to be able to get the kill despite the feast. Jack's not able to chase Tarek down this time, I think. Although Tarek looping around a little bit. Perhaps a bit unwise. He's able to get away safely. I don't think. Well, Wishers is still chasing him. I mean, he did see Tarek go past that ward, so he knows where he is, but he's not doing too much. He's going to go in for Nocturne here. Nocturne a little bit scared. There is a ward in there, which is going to help him a lot. Does manage to shield the Counter-Strike. A good stun going off onto Jack, but Nocturne not wanting to try and fight at all. Probably quite a wise decision there, I feel. I think Jax could have 2v1 quite comfortably, especially with Nocturne sitting on no mana. I'm gonna recall right on top of this ward, but not a big deal. Target's picked up a Kindle Gem, presumably going towards the Shurellas. Makes a lot of sense to me. Blitzcrank has already got his Shurellas, but hasn't picked up the extra GP10, which Tarek has, I should say. So perhaps, well, yeah, that's the trade-off that Tarek has. So Tarek a little bit out of position here. Although, actually, it looks like Darius is the focus of the attention. The Abraham not quite landing on Tristana. I think Darius is in a lot of trouble right now. Gets a guillotine off on Tristana. Manages to burst her for about 70% of her HP instantly, but not enough to take her down. Twisted advance going up onto Cho'gath. He is going after Tristana, but not able to pick up the kill there. Cho'gath putting a lot of damage into, well, actually swapping Tristana in right now with the shield going off, keeping her alive through that feast. And Cho'gath does go down to Karma. Tristana actually staying alive through all of that. And 4 members of the blue team going down, with only Tarek surviving. That's really, really bad news for blue team. And I mean, this late game team comp, I didn't really look at which team was going to be stronger in the late game, to be honest. But Jax and Tristana just really showing exactly how effective those two champions are in the late game. Tarek flashing and going in there. A little bit of a desperate move, I think. And actually, a lot of flash going on. This is the surrenders coming out here, and it is indeed. Yeah, the power of that Tristana and the Jax in the late game. Tristana 14 and 5, Jax 10 and 2. Just both doing so much damage. They did really manage to get ahead, and with champions like that, if you can get ahead in the early game, the late game is just going to be such a stomp. And we saw it building towards that, right? It was only 26 minutes. It wasn't really that late, despite the kill count being so high. But if we'd gotten to 40 minutes or something, Tristana and Jax would have been doing so much damage. They just would have been completely out of control. Tristana, of course, also able to kite Darius very well. And yeah, I mean, the damage output just not really being there from blue team. Possibly just because so much of their damage output was centered in Darius, who wasn't really able to get onto anyone. Anyway, we'll cut to the stats screen here. Take a little bit more of an in-depth look, possibly. So we see Karma, in fact, with the most gold, and she did good work, I think. Certainly early on, was able to pick up a couple of kills, turn around some ganks, and just, I mean, only had 3 deaths by the end, was 6-3 and 13. Did a lot of good work, has to be said. Just yeah, very solid play by Atlia. But I think, well, I mean, in those late team fights, she was keeping Karma alive with those huge shields, and I mean, it seemed like in every team fight, they were able to catch an extra person because of their slows. So, although it wasn't really like obvious team fight impact, because it was mostly just shields and slows and smaller crowd control type things, smaller utility type things, I should say, she was extremely effective, and really just enabled Tristana and Jax to carry so hard in the late game. And the same has to be said of Blitzcrank and Maokai, right? They both did really good work crowd controlling people. They didn't end up looking like the stars of their routine teammates, but I mean, they were using all of their abilities in cooldown. They were shutting a lot of people down. Blitzcrank certainly with a lot of good grabs. Daydreamin just always with those grabs. It's actually quite incredible. And yeah, and Maokai similarly, just doing a lot of work, landed a lot of crowd control. Had 20 assists that game, which is huge. So he was definitely able to set up a lot of kills and to really enable Jax and Tristana to snowball into that late game that they had hit really by the end. And I mean, it's funny, sorry, I keep calling it late game when Jax has, you know, 1 major item, almost 2, and Tristana had 2 major items, which is of course not accurate. Late game generally being considered like 4 to 6 major items, probably from the like 35 minutes on mark sort of thing, maybe 40 even. Actual late game, but certainly this was the late mid game, if you will. And we just saw Tristana and Jax being ahead and really able to... I mean, yeah. What you have to consider is that, first of all, Red Team was crushing team fights, right? They were dealing out huge damage, and they had really good shields, and they had a lot of control, and they were doing very well. But the important thing to remember is that they were... is that it was only going to get worse for Blue Team, really, right? Tristana and Jax were going to get so strong and just going to crush everything. Whereas, I mean, Cho'gath's not as bad late game as some people think he is, I think. I mean, it's my opinion that Cho'gath's not as bad late game as some people think he is. But he's definitely not Tristana. And Darius's late game seems quite good, but it's really not Jax. And, Blue Team not even really having a strong AP champion, I think, with the mid lane Cho'gath, which was able to provide a lot of crowd control to them, but very little damage other than feast. And ultimately, most team comps do expect their mid laner to provide a pretty reasonable amount of damage in team fights, and get maybe 1 hard CC from their mid laner, and then most of their CC from like their jungler. Yeah, a lot of comps more recently have been picking up CC from junglers, from Maokai or Nautilus or whatever. Of course, you can never really have too much CC, so I don't think Cho'gath is a terrible pick in mid, but I think his damage is lacking, and if you're going to pick him for a mid laner, you really need to be able to compensate that in your team comp. And Cho'gath is already a lower damage, higher CC comp, I feel, because Cho'gath is fantastic in team fights, but not going to put out as much damage as your average AD carry. And although, as I said before, Darius does a whole lot of damage, he's going to get kited by Tristana all day, and I don't really think he can toe-to-toe Jax too well. I mean, not in the late game, at least, where Jax has absurd sustain, can kite, has CC, which Darius really doesn't. And I might be entirely wrong about that. Certainly in the laning phase, Darius can trade quite well with Jax, I feel, but I do think Jax has the advantage overall. and certainly will outscale him in the long term. Really cool to see that Karma play in the mid lane there, and to see a bit of a more unconventional pick in the Cho'gath. So I mean, we're talking about how perhaps it wasn't that effective, and that's a shame. But it's really nice to see those unconventional picks, even if perhaps they're not as successful as we would hope. Just because it adds a bit more variety to the game, and because ultimately that's how you're going to find the good new champions in a lane, right? When it turned out that AP Sirako is really good, everybody thought it was janky and terrible before well, SCY started playing it. To be honest, I think he was the first real AP mid Sirako player. And then, I mean, I think Skara was the one who picked it up and really put it in the limelight by playing it in tournaments, and people just realized then that this is so good, right? It's actually like overpowered. It's a ridiculously strong middle lane, and in certain comps it works insanely well. And if you're not going to just try out unconventional mid laners from time to time, you're never going to find something like that out. You're never going to get that edge of playing a new strong champion that people don't know how to deal with. I think there are a lot of champions out there that do well. I probably shouldn't actually have this up. A lot of champions out there that do better than people would think, at least, in mid lane. Anyway, kind of ranted on for a bit here. We haven't talked about we talked about the builds a bit. We just see a doubling up of the Frozen Heart here, which is unfortunate. That's sort of just because Frozen Heart is so core for both Urgot and Cho'gath. And again, I think it just represents a kind of inconsistency in the team comp here, which is just because it's solo queue and whatever, you know. But I think in a team comp generally, you wouldn't try to run two low damage champions like Urgot and Cho'gath. And Urgot's not super low damage. I think his main strength is that his base values are quite good. He is able to deal a fair bit of damage while being insanely tanky with a build like Guardian Angel, Frozen Heart, you know, with the resistances that his ultimate grants him, and with the shield that he's got. He's able to just be very, very tanky and still deal out a reasonable amount of damage. Really just being more like a bruiser than an AD carry. And he does kind of require the large amount of damage output from the other lanes, which, yeah, again, Cho'gath is really not able to provide. Just going to minimize that. At the same time, well, what else do we want to talk about in the builds that's important? I don't know what Karma would have built next. I would expect probably just like a Void Star or something. She did seem to be going to building for just raw damage. And although that's not a terrible idea. Well, no, it's probably good. I don't know what I'm talking about. I gotta be honest. I know nothing about AP Karma builds, so I'm not going to delve into that. I will try and do a bit more research on that for future reference, because it could be quite entertaining, I think. The CDI boots I just pick up. The triple GP10 I definitely like, and the AP heavy build after that makes some kind of sense to me. You're going to get really large shields very quickly, which is amazing. I think it's probably one of the best features of Karma, and big heals, of course. And I mean, you're going to have a lot of utility if you have a large amount of AP. Generally, quite a frustrating champion to play against, I think. While she is a little bit underwhelming overall, I think the amount of attention she receives in the community is very small, and is less than she deserves. Right? I think she's not bad. She's not a top 10 mid, and she would need some significant changes, I think, to be a top 10 mid. But she's definitely what I would call viable. Anyway, yeah, I'm kind of ranting on here. Just trying to think whether I've got anything else to put at the end of this video. Well, yeah, okay. Well, we'll cut to a little bit of me time again. I just want to say thank all of you for watching. Thanks all of you, even, for watching. I really hope that you're enjoying watching this as much as I'm enjoying making them, which seems very unlikely, but that's okay. And I plan to keep improving, and I really hope that you guys keep watching, and that you enjoy these, and that you spread the word, because I'm going to keep casting, basically. I'm going to keep going. And for future videos, I do plan to do some more kind of heavy analysis stuff without the casting component to them. But in the meantime, just kind of starting off, my hope is just to, well, yeah, to cast games, but do the color commentary side of it, and be, you know, with some strategic aspect to them. So yeah, hopefully we'll go a bit more into specific champion strategy and things like that as these videos go on. And yeah, as I say, I plan to keep making it for some time. So please do keep watching, and please do leave feedback in the comments, or I do plan to make a Reddit thread about them soon again. So if you want to post in there, that would be fantastic. Or if you email me at azubalol@gmail.com. And I will try and read all of the feedback that I find and put as much of it as I can into practice. Yeah, and I just want to stress that I realize at this point I'm not that good a caster yet, but I'm not going to give up. Yeah, thanks for watching.